La la la, everybody, how's your week been? It's been a more glorious end to the week, hasn't it, with all the sunshine. Oh, thank you, weather gods. Please ignore the fact it might rain again. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy today's show. Kate Thornton will be joining me today. I absolutely adore her. She'll be talking all about her brand new season of White Wine Question Time, her podcast. It's going to be going 2 episodes a week. She's spoiling us. Winnie the Pooh, yes, the real Winnie the Pooh. The all-singing, all-dancing Winnie the Pooh will be joining me in the shape of Jake Basil and Benjamin Durbin. Louise Dearman and Rob Houchen will be talking about their brand new show At Last It's Summer. That's at the Palladium on the 16th of April. Heather James will be telling us all about the Bow Babe Fund. We're going to be chatting to Bewitched, and Aunt Sarah from the Derry Girls, Kathy Kiera Clark, will be joining me all about her new show. And we've got something very special for you. During the hour of 1 till 2, we've got a very special. It's called Make a Difference, Hand of Help. I'll tell you more in a moment. Okay. Best way to start a sunny Sunday. Justin Timberlake.
I know it is. Whoa. I believe it is. Oh, I'm sure it is. Whoa, yeah. I'm sure it is. How y'all doing today? I know it is. The Savior lives. The Savior lives. Oh, oh, oh. It's time to celebrate the Savior and His word. Let's shout because we know He lives and we are served. His love has set us free, our enemies defeat. If with me you agree, come on and lift up your hands. Everybody lift your hands if you know that Jesus is worthy. Hey, yeah. Open up and give Him praise. Let's do it in our head. Love and let's glorify in the song and in the dance. We know the Savior lives. Come on and lift up your hands. To understand just why we praise, let me tell you how it all went down. The news spread so very fast, people came from miles around. This would be the day Christ would be crucified. He took His last breath, He hung His head and He died. They took my Savior down from off that rugged cross. They laid Him in a tomb. It seemed all hope was truly lost. But the third day came along and brought the rhythm of life. The stone rolled away, an angel proudly proclaimed, He lives, Christ is risen, just like He said. Our Lord and Savior's no longer dead. Hey, rejoice and celebrate, hey. Everybody lift your hands if you know
Happy Easter, everyone.
Do the Easter bunny, pop, pop, step left, right, left, and hop, hop. Big bunny ears go flop, flip, flop in the Easter bunny, pop, pop, hop, hop, pop, pop, pop.
Have you ever seen the Easter bunny?
Have you ever seen the Easter bunny?
Cuddly cute with a soft white tummy.
Cuddly cute with a soft white tummy.
The only rabbit of its kind. Brings Easter eggs at Easter time.
How many eggs can you find? Do the Easter bunny, pop, pop, step left, right, left, and hop, hop. Big bunny ears go flop, flip, flop in the Easter bunny, pop, pop, hop, hop, pop, pop, pop.
Every Easter egg has some magic inside.
Every Easter egg has some magic inside.
If you're lucky, there might even be a surprise.
Surprise! Surprise!
They taste so good and are fun to share.
Taste so good and are fun to share.
Colourful Easter eggs everywhere.
A sure sign the Easter bunny was there. Do the Easter bunny, pop, pop, step left, right, left, and hop, hop. Big bunny ears go flop, flip, flop in the Easter bunny, pop, pop. Do the Easter bunny, pop, pop, step left, right, left, and hop, hop. Big bunny ears go flop, flip, flop in the Easter bunny, pop, pop. Wake up nice and early and have a look around.
In the garden, under a tree, there's Easter eggs to be found.
To the Easter bunny, pop, pop, step left, right, left, and hop, hop. Big bunny ears go flop, flip, flop in the Easter bunny, pop, pop. To the Easter bunny, pop, pop, step left, right, left, and hop, hop. Big bunny ears go flop, flip, flop in the Easter bunny, pop, pop. The Easter bunny, pop, hop, pop, pop.
I want to watch The Mandalorian. Also, coming up later on, now I do have their... Thornton, we've got you on the phone now because unfortunately Zoom wasn't working. We only heard every few words that you were saying, my lovely. Apologies for that.
Sorry. Some might argue that is an Easter blessing.
Not at all. Do you know, we have gremlins in the works. We had a bit of silence before. We've got buttons that aren't working. But hey, it's Easter. That's fine.
It's Easter.
It's completely
all right.
fine.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm really well. I love you, Kate Thornton. That's that. I think you are magnificent. Let's just talk, as we were, about Bewitched. We were just saying, and because you're Miss Music, because of course you were the youngest ever editor of Smash Hits, and you said you've got a new show starting, all to do with the Smash Hits years. Tell me more.
It's gone really full circle, 360. So I work at Greatest Hits Radio. Where we join, we're welcoming Ken Bruce with a
Mr.
big old...
Ken Bruce, yes.
Yeah, he arrived on Monday morning with a bang.
I saw your party footage. Goodness me. What a welcome you gave him.
We gave him a mariachi band. I mean, what else do you give the man that has the biggest listenership in the world? Anyway, so today at 5 o'clock, Smash Hits, the Smash Hits year starts. So they basically said to me, would you like to do this? And I was like, well, what can I do with it? They said, whatever you like. So what I do every week is I take 2 issues from the archive and I bring them back to life. With the songs, the lyrics, the posters. I mean, it's hilarious, Gab, when you go back over the years.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's at 5, and starting with the first ever issue, which dropped in 1978 with Blondie on the cover and Boomtown Rats.
You're kidding me.
Double-page pull-out spread. Stick them on your wall poster, yeah.
And so am I right in thinking that Smash Hits magazine was the one that had all the words of every song in?
That's how it started. It started out as a lyric magazine. It was basically that was considered quite revolutionary back in 1978. It was a chance for you to know all the songs that you heard fleetingly on the radio, because you couldn't even record back then. Cassettes were just coming in, so there's loads of ads in the magazine for, buy your cassettes at Woolies for like 30p. And that was when we all started pressing play and record on the top 40.
Wow. Do you know what? Obviously, I'm 33 again, as I am every birthday, but I was very young when that happened.
By the way.
Yeah, thank you, every year. But those, and what's so extraordinary is I can't remember people that I met yesterday, but I can remember every word of every song that I learnt because of that magazine.
Because of that magazine. And it's so funny because recently I had Louise Redknapp on my podcast, and we first kind of got to know each other around that time when I was at Smash Hits, and we talked about, this is brilliant, we talked about on the podcast, I said when she left Eternal we wanted to put her on the cover, but it's kind of tricky when you're the editor of Smash Hits. You're selling a magazine to teenage girls, and they didn't always like to see girls on the cover at that point, right? So we're like, okay, how can we make sure that this really works? Anyway, we ended up doing what they call a cover mount, which is like sticking a fiver on a magazine cover. You'd give a gift away. And for Louise, we gave away what looked like a Tiffany necklace, but we'd sourced it cheap as chips in a factory overseas, and it turned all of these teenage girls' necks green.
No.
So many complaints, quite rightly, from so many mums. So apologies for that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that's, like you say, full circle. I mean, you're a brilliant journalist, you're a brilliant broadcaster, and your podcast is wonderful. Thank you for having me on it in the past. Kate Thornton.
I loved having you on.
Well, White Wine Question Time, we're going to get you twice a week now.
Yes, well, you know what? We're now almost 4.5 years old, and we've got this incredible back catalogue. And, what I noticed when you start looking into how podcasts are consumed is that every week people are scrambling around in the back catalogue, listening to old episodes almost as much as they're listening to news, so they're discovering them for the first time. So we thought, well, let's help with that. Let's bring some of the very best guests up from the wine cellar and put them into a midweek drop. So every week you have 3 guests from the archive, just talking in sort of shot-sized portions, we call it, just so that you know what's sitting in there. It's this wealth, this catalogue full of brilliant hour-long conversations, just some of the biggest names and the most interesting names in entertainment. So as well as having you could sell from, we've got Hannah Waddingham in there, who's just having the best moment right now, thanks to Ted Lasso and all the success that's come around that. This week's guest is Adam Hills from The Last Leg, who is just glorious. And next week we've got Phil Tufnell, who's returning to the I'm a Celebrity jungle, this time in South Africa.
I love you've got you have regular people that we all know. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's so lovely, and it's so engaging and it's so friendly. But also you've got Ken Bruce. We've mentioned him already.
Ken is last week's episode, yes, talking about his sort of big decision. What I love, this week is brilliant. You might have seen that Channel 4 are now putting Popmaster on the telly.
Yes.
And I've been doing lunchtimes this week, so Ken and I sort of, as you do, wave through the glass, and he pops in as he's heading off, and I pop my head in when I arrive. And I thought, Ken, I was just thinking about Channel 4 and Popmaster. He went, I know, they just phoned me. I wasn't even looking for it. I'm 72, for goodness sake. Isn't it brilliant?
It is, and that's what we should all be celebrating, actually.
Absolutely.
Not whatever goes on, and this is one BBC, and you and I have both worked for the BBC and love the BBC, very much so.
Totally. But, people change jobs all the time. It doesn't mean that when you leave somewhere you have to then, cut all ties with it and, it's a terrible thing. That's just life, isn't it? We all move on. But how wonderful that
we should celebrate a
72-year-old man is getting this kind of love and attention from an audience that really value him. I think it's brilliant.
I absolutely agree. And and as I say, I completely adore you, Kate. You are a brilliant interviewer. You really do, because you come from you're a journalist through and through. That's what you are.
Yes. Well, do you know what? But like you, Gabs, you've interviewed me, I've interviewed you. We're interested in people. Really, it's just finding a job for nosy people, isn't it?
Oh, gosh,
and
exactly.
It's a license to ask as many questions as you see respectably fit. And I adore doing it. 52 guests a year is what I get on White One Question Time. And it's 52 conversations that I look forward to time and again. And, I think it's a real pleasure to be able to apply all this experience that I've clocked up along the way, good and bad, and put it into something that I'm really proud of.
Good for you. And as I said, I think you're wonderful. What are you doing for Easter Sunday, please? Tell us. Share. Apart from your show at 5.
Yes, my show at 5. Well, I jet washed yesterday, and today, I love jet washing. I get such a kick out of it. So I've jet washed, and now today I'm going to repaint my garden walls before I head off to work. That's the kind of rock and roll life I'm living these days.
What colour paint, please?
It's white. It's a pain. I don't ever do white garden walls. When I moved in, I thought, this looks so Mediterranean. It's a nightmare to keep up. If any of your listeners have got any advice about how on earth I can keep, the walls white without having to repaint them, I would love you forever.
Sorry, did you not say you jet wash? Could you not just jet wash your white wall?
Done that, and there's still stains on it. So I'm going in. I can't bear it.
Kate Thornton, you are wonderful. White Wine Question Time drops.
Thanks,
Which
Gab.
days, please?
Tuesdays at 4 o'clock for Something from the Cellar to get you through that midweek hump, and every Friday a brand new guest. Thank you so much for having me on.
It's a pleasure. Happy Easter, gorgeous girl.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
BBC Radio.
Let's go racing! It's Super Mario Kart Funny Car Madness! Only on Super NES. Turn the track into a giant mud pit. Or burn rubber on ice, wood, or asphalt. Mix it up for the big boys. See Bowser and his Bigfoot chopping truck. See Yoshi's go-kart really go. Mushrooms, banana peels, turtle shells. Dynamite! Check your rear view and make him eat dust. Or go into battle mode and ruin his day. 2 speeds. Fast and way too fast. It's 2-player fun on the split screen. Only for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power. Superpower.
Let me see you pop them things, shake them, do the brand. Let me hear you say, hey.
talking about things you can do because of Kid Rated, of course, things you can do over the Easter holidays. You know Bewitched, and what's so extraordinary is you're wearing double denim in their honour.
I just went Instagram Live, so people will see that I'm not wearing double denim.
Okay.
You look very happy.
I am. I'm wearing a sweatshirt that says happy.
Good.
I was singing along to the happy song.
It's so beautiful outside.
It is a glorious day. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day. Now, it's really tricky for a lot of people. You are on Instagram Live, and that's really weird. I'm now talking to myself, which is a bit weird.
Okay,
so,
stand over here.
to all the lovely people who are listening, can you please give advice on what to do around London? It's sunny at the moment. We're going to have sunshine and showers this week. It's the Easter holidays. People might be going slightly crazy. What can they do?
Okay, what can you do? Well, I know that people don't have a lot of money, so I'm trying to choose things that's sort of a little bit cheaper.
Good.
And one of the things, somebody contacted me via Instagram and said, look, I'm bringing my kid down and we wanted to do something. And we were going to go on one of the big bus tours around London, but it's quite pricey. Could you give me a sort of cheaper alternative? And I said, you know what I said, Gabby?
What?
I said, yes, I could.
Okay, so tell us, what can people do?
Well, just behind you on that big screen, you can see a boat, because I didn't realise that's a live feed, a boat going behind you. You can do that. You can go down the Thames on one of those Uber Clipper boats.
How much? Do you know, I've never done it. I mean, I have been on the Thames Rockets, and there are many others that you can do as well. So we do have to point out there are other ways that you can go down the river.
Yeah.
But I've never done the Clipper boat.
So these Clipper boats are brilliant. They're sort of basically, they're run by Uber now, interestingly enough, but they're really cheap. Kind of like an adult ticket is about sort of 12, 15 quid.
That's a lot of money.
Well, when you imagine that to go on the RIBs, the rib boats, you know, those inflatable rib boats like Thames Rockets, Thames Jets and things like that, which are great, by the way. And if you can do it and you can afford it, you should do it because it's brilliant. But to go on sort of one of these Clipper boats, which has a bar and also loads of seats, and it's going past all those, the great London landmarks, the iconic landmarks.
That's a lovely idea,
It's
actually.
really, really nice. And it's a really kind of cheap thing to do. You can go all the way down to Greenwich or the O2, and then go and get some food at the O2, wander around Greenwich, and when you get to Greenwich, go and see the Cutty Sark. You have to do that. There are museums down there as well. They're closing the observatory, but the National Maritime...
What, forever?
No, they're closing it for a massive refurb.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that.
But I think that's a really, really good way to make the most of a sunny day in London and really not have to break the bank to do it.
That's a great idea. And also for anybody who's coming into London, obviously you can't via Euston because Euston station is still closed for 4 days. I've got to go to Manchester via Paddington tonight, which is a strange way. Via Reading, I know. But Euston's closed, so just warning anybody who's coming into London. Okay. More travel, of course, from Fiona. But anyone that's coming into London, everybody wants to see the Thames and the South Bank and all of that. It's a really lovely idea. Any other ideas up your sleeve, please, Simon
London? Yes, loads of ideas up my sleeve. Go, if you want to go out, I want to make the most of this really glorious sunny weather because it is lovely out there at the moment. Go to somewhere like Kew Gardens.
Oh, great idea.
If you've got kids, they're doing, I think it's called Superworm, which is the lady who did the Gruffalo. Is that Julia Donaldson?
Julia Donaldson, yes.
Yes, I think she created Superworm, and they've got a Superworm trail there for kids, which is really good. But also Kew Gardens is one of those places. I'm sort of saying, trying to save your money, go to places where your money is going to stretch.
Lovely.
So if you go there for the day, the cafes, and you can wander around, it has all those different zones. I mean, obviously everyone knows about sort of the glass houses and things, but there's lots of other bits and pieces to do as well with the trails.
Do they have the Bumblebee Buzzy place, or was that just
the Hive?
Yes.
Oh, that's a really good place.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it because the noises of a hive and you could stand right in the middle. But I don't know if it was just a feature for 1 year. We'll find out and we'll let everybody know in the next song. We will find that out. One more thing from you, please, for people to do, please.
One more thing for people to do is make the most of London Transport Museum being one of the best museums in London. Okay, so it's free to get into.
Is it?
Yes, it's free to get into.
Oh,
and
wow.
also it's just great for kids. If you're a mum with young kids or a dad with young kids who wants to go and just have a sit down, they've got all those old buses and what are they called? Omnibuses, that's it. And they allow the kids up them so they can run up the stairs and everything else, whilst you can just sit down on a beanbag with a cheap cup of tea or coffee and let them knock themselves out. If you really are into transport and London transport and the history of London and all that, they do hidden London museum tours as well. That's something for people who may be a bit older, but that's really good as well.
That's brilliant. Also in the rain, that's quite a good one, because when it does rain tomorrow afternoon. Simon London, for the moment, thank you. So that's if you want to go out. If you want to stay in, we're going to talk television.
We are.
Straight after this. is still here. We're talking about things that you can do out and about here in London in this second week of the school holidays, Easter holidays.
Yes.
And that, if you want to find out any more details, you go to kidrated.com. But also, Simon, we're talking about things that you can do inside, which are television. And you and I both love television. We both absolutely adore Unforgotten. Congratulations to Chris Lang, the writer of that incredible show, and Sanjeev and Sinead. Just superb season.
Were you slightly worried about Sinead stepping into... No.
I love her as an actress.
And I think they did a really great thing there. I mean, we're going to have to talk so it's spoiler-free.
No spoilers.
Yeah, but I think the way they started it off without I think it was very brave not to let Sanjeev just step up, but to start it off with another partner, and then for that beginning to sort of not be the smooth opening beginning that we thought.
But she's superb.
But in doing so, a great way for us to understand her character. I thought that was really clever. I was like, why are we going through this way? And then all of a sudden it makes sense. Yes, we can feel sympathy for her and yada, yada, yada. So, yes. So, I keep on calling it the wrong name.
Unforgotten.
How ironic.
Yes, it is ironic that you get it wrong. Unforgiven, Unforgotten. No, it is Unforgotten. You can catch all episodes now on ITVX. We're going to talk about the whole show as a whole, as it were, without giving any spoilers away, because the finale is obviously out there. Can I just say that my husband hates me because I guessed it? That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
He hates it that I guessed it.
So we are...
But it's beautifully put together. I think that's Chris Lang, who's the writer. He weaves it so cleverly that there are all these storylines going on and you want to know how they all come together, and he does it superbly.
Yeah. Brilliant, really good, and some great character actors in there as well. I have to say, they've got a really good supporting cast.
I believe them all that they really are police people.
Now I have to tell you about something that I have binged.
Go for it.
Police Paris 1900. It's just started on BBC 4. It's available. All episodes are available on iPlayer. I started Police Paris 1905. Or Paris Police 1905? I can't remember. 1905, and then realised that I'd watched the second one first, and there's the Paris Police or Police Paris 1900. But it didn't make any difference. They're standalone stories, and if anything, it was like watching a prequel. But they are beautiful. They are beautiful, beautiful period pieces made by Canal Plus. It is a création originale by Canal Plus, and the actors in it are brilliant. It's all subtitled, so you have to put your phone down, you have to put your phone away, you have to pay attention, and it's great. I cannot wait for there to be a season 3, and I'm just saying to everybody, it's dark and it's scary and you will wince, but you'll also laugh a lot, and the cases are very, very good, so you can try and solve it as you go along.
Lovely, thank you very much. If I may, I'm going to throw in a bit of this. Congratulations to Harriet Thorpe, friend of the show, and I've known Harriet very many years, and of course friend of Simon's as well. Harriet Thorpe is going to be the new landlady of the Queen Vic.
Superb.
With Colin Salmon.
Oh, wow.
So it's very, very exciting. She's coming in. I think we get to see the new family, and it's been a long time since a new whole family has arrived in the square. Somebody who's never ever missed an episode of EastEnders. I'm very excited about this. I think it's the middle of May that we should see them, and then in June they sort of come in and take over. So congratulations to everybody involved, and congratulations to everybody EastEnders at the moment, because I think it's being beautifully written. There are some very sensitive storylines that they're doing, very, very tough storylines, to do with brain tumours, to do with all sorts of things. But the way they've done it, and the way their performances are exemplary, really superb. And I don't think people give enough applause and appreciation to soaps, because obviously Coronation Street, Emmerdale, Casualty, all of them, the continuing drama, they put in an incredible amount of work.
And they are the breeding ground for sort of the industry's great directors, art department, script writers,
You're so
actors.
right.
You know, you look at all of those people's CVs, and they've all started off in a British continuing drama.
Fantastic. Simon, thank you very much. What are you doing for Easter Sunday?
I am going over to my friends, the Millers, and I'm going to eat all their food and then drink all their drink until they kick me out round about midnight.
Lovely. Happy Easter. The Police, every little thing she does is magic. Simon London, you just want to mention one more show, TV show,
yeah,
don't
there
you?
is, and I want to mention this because it's so brilliant and such a loss. And, you know, we talked about this the other week. Paul O'Grady, they're doing a tribute show for him. I think anybody who saw the Blankety Blank episode they put on last week will just... You know, he's such a loss. He's such a great loss. Everybody loved him. This tribute show, which is on tonight, I think it's at 8 p.m. It's made by his team who used to make the Paul O'Grady show, and also by the production team who did For the Love of Dogs. And it's just a real tribute to him, obviously talking about him, but lots of friends in there. I think you're going to be, are you mentioned in it? Yes. So you're
I'm
there, and people like Amanda Mealing, it's a great actress, and Gillian Clary as well. People who knew him, people who worked with him.
But it's also about the incredible work that he did, which he was a very brave, very special man.
He was totally. And, such a loss. And, so if you can tune in for that or set your recorders for that, please do, because it's, you will not be disappointed, and it's a great way to remember him.
It is. It's a very special programme, and we all filmed it at the Vauxhall Tavern.
Oh, brilliant.
This week, so it was very special. Very quickly done with a wonderful team of people. Simon, thank you very much. You go and eat your friend's
Gaby,
food
thank
and
you very
drink
much.
their drink, and just be sensible.
I will, Gaby.
Thank you very much. And happy Easter to you. Now, Simon, do you know Winnie the Pooh?
Yes, but
Have
I'm
you
more
met Winnie the Pooh?
Yes, when we had a barbecue with his friend Piglet.
Oh, right, okay, because Winnie the Pooh is now live on the show. Yes! Winnie the Pooh, welcome Jake and Benjamin, who are Winnie the Pooh.
Thank you very much for having us. Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, that's just so...
One.
Oh, it's so lovely to talk to you. In fact, let's talk to you two, and then we'll speak to Winnie the Pooh, if we may. Jake, Basil, and Benjamin Durham, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
So, Jake, you originated this Winnie the Pooh musical. You originated Winnie the Pooh on stage, and you brought it to London, the Riverside. And Benjamin, you're going to be touring with Winnie the Pooh. Tell me everything. Go, Jake, you go first.
Yeah, so as you said, I had the honor of originating it back in New York a couple of years back, and it's been really just a total dream come true to bring it out here to London, to bring Winnie the Pooh home as it was, and to get to share the brotherhood of the bear of very little brain with Ben here. It's been a real treat.
So how does he come to life then, Benjamin? Tell me more. Sorry, he called you Ben. Can I call you Ben, or do you want me to call you Benjamin?
You can absolutely call me Ben.
Okay, Ben. Thank you.
We bring all the characters to life through puppetry. So we have sort of life-size puppets of the toys, and then we're alongside puppeteering, but almost as if we're Krista playing with all your favourite friends.
How incredible. Now, I've seen photographs on your Instagram feeds, and it just looks like the sort of show that's going to make us, it's going to warm our hearts and put the biggest smiles on our faces.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quintessentially Winnie the Pooh story. So we've got, as you said, we've got these gorgeous life-size puppets. We've got all the Sherman Brothers music that everyone knows and loves. The set is gorgeous. It feels like you're actually stepping into the 100-acre woods.
Oh, no, please, this is too gorgeous.
It's meant to just be like a hug of a show. Absolutely.
Oh, my word. Honestly, just it makes me sort of get goosebumps, because I'm a huge Winnie the Pooh fan, and I loved it as a child. And my late granny always used to do all the voices, and we did Winnie the Pooh. And then I did the same with my kids. So is this, I mean, you talk about the Sherman Brothers, and that's, of course, Mary Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah.
This is proper musical, isn't it?
We are singing, we're
singing,
dancing.
yeah,
Yep. It's the puppetry, it's the music, it's we're doing it all at once.
Yeah.
And to be doing that, to bring these characters to life in a room with an audience, not far away from us, it really is. It's magic to kind of share these characters in real time, with folks in the room with us. It's pretty special.
Can you explain? So, what are you first? Are you actors? Are you puppeteers? Are you? Which way round does it go?
I will say it depends on the day. It depends on the day, my friend. Yeah. I think we're very proud to be puppeteers in this show, but we're doing it all. We're acting, we're singing, we're dancing, we're puppeteering. We're kind of juggling a lot, but it's a lovely challenge. It's a really fun time to get to bring these characters to life.
It's a real mix that we bring sort of everything to the table at the same time, and just go for it and have the best time.
Well, don't go anywhere. We're just going to have a little bit of a song, and then please don't go anywhere, guys. Gotta get up. just beat faster and smile all the way. What do you think is the sort of enduring quality of Winnie the Pooh? Why does every generation just love him and Piglet and Roo and Tigger?
I think there's a joy in the simplicity of it all. We think about the adventures that these group of friends go on, and they're each bringing something different, and they're all just seeing things through a sort of clear lens and just enjoying and having fun and playing. There's such a sense of play.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also, I mean, these characters they're toys, right? But I think we all can
They're
see
real. They're real. They're not toys.
Yeah, but we can see ourselves in these characters. Everyone knows a Tigger. Everyone knows a Piglet. So I think they're sort of deeply human characters for as simple as they are. There's a lot of humanity in that simplicity that, as an actor, is a ton of fun to play.
Of course it is. Now, you're going to be at the Riverside Studios until the 21st of May. If you want to find out more, go to winniethepoohshow.co.uk. Can I just say hello to Pooh, please?
Well, of course you can. There's a couple of us in the room at the moment. Would you like?
So, Pooh, can you give us a little bit of a happy Easter message, please, Pooh?
Well, it's a very happy Easter, and I'd like to share that with you. I hope everyone gets a little bit of honey and a little bit of chocolate.
Oh. Winnie the Pooh, you won't have heard the fact that my producer Theodora and Betty, who's helping out today, through the glass, I could hear them just say, "Oh, you have just made our days. I hope the show goes wonderfully well." Jake and Ben, thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful tour as well with the show. All details will be found on their website, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, how delightful was that? Now, coming up in the next hour, we'll be hearing how Ukrainian refugees and their hosts across England have been helping each other over the past year. The programme is called Make a Difference, Hand of Help. It's presented by Anna Gorechenko, a journalist from Ukraine. And Anna has said that my story is their story. I'm a Ukrainian refugee also. So looking forward to listening to that. Comes up in the next hour.
IMX is back again, so everybody run and tell a friend. LDB, Bad Romeo, the three bad brothers about to run the show. IMX is back again, yo, BAT, won't you bring it in?
Listen, don't you hate it when people be hating on what you do? It's always about them and never about you. And sometimes you just don't know what to do. Listen to me when I say that I'ma get mine regardless of whether you hate. There's always somebody that just don't congratulate. So you can step off me or hate me, whatever. See, but first tell me, why you always hating on me? Ain't no need for that. Is it because you want me to spend my money? Ain't no need for that. And if you feel me with your hands up, body with me. Ain't no need for that. No need for that. It's out there, say it for me. Ain't no need for that. No need for that. Listen, don't you hate it when people be always harassing you, trying to figure out what's your next move? Let them know, don't worry about me, take care of you. Listen to me. Why does everybody gotta be hating on me? What is the reason for all this jealousy? You need to step off me or hate me, whatever. See, but please tell me. Yeah, I swear it feels like the same old thing every day of the week. Don't be mad at me. You can't be mad cause I'm out here hustling, doing my thing. Sometimes it feels like the same old thing every day of the week. Don't be mad at me cause I'm doing my thing and I'm making money. Why you always hating on me? Ain't no need for that. Is it because you want me to spend my money? Ain't no need for that. And if you feel me, wave your hands up high and party with me. Ain't no need for that. And all the players out there say it for me. Ain't no need for that. Why you always hating on me? Ain't no need for that. No need. Is it because you want me to spend my dollars? Ain't no need for that. And if you feel me, wave your hands up high and party with me. Ain't no need for that. No need for that. Say it for me. Ain't no need for that. No need for that. What you want from me? I swear it feels like the same old thing every day of the week. Don't be mad at me. You can't be mad cause I'm doing my thing.
LDB, Bad Romeo, these three bad brothers about to run the show. IMX is back again. Hey boys and girls, go tell your friends.
Why you always hating on me? Ain't no need for that. Is it because you want me to spend my money? Ain't no need for that. And if you feel me, put your hands up high and
Sounds App. On your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio London.
And on your radio.
The sound of London is BBC Radio London.
Welcome to Make a Difference, Hand of Help. We are about to hear stories from across local BBC radio that will tell you how Ukrainian refugees and their hosts have been helping each other over the last year. I'm Anna Gorozhenko. My story is their story. I'm a Ukrainian refugee also. With my daughter, I stayed in UK from late of May last year. We saw rockets and fightings of military jets in sky. We crossed many borders and had long trip to UK. My husband and mom still in Ukraine. They're alive, and I pray for them each day. It is very typical story for many Ukrainians. So stay with us for a really special hour.
I really like these people, Jill and Gary, because they really saved us.
They're part of our family. You know, we eat together in the evenings most times. We're just living happily.
My host family are wonderful people. I call them angels because they saved us, actually saved us. They gave us the chance for life again.
If you've got a house that's big enough and you've got the time, because you do need time as well, to help, then do it.
Just do it.